Grace, thank you very much for doing this. Just wanted to ask you here, first of all, are you going to resign?
No, I don't intend to. And there's three different reasons, if I could explain a little bit to you. First of all, when I read a week ago the affidavit from Jennifer Hasselberger, she describes things the way they were 15 months ago. And since that time, we have done all kinds of work to get to a better place. And we've had the task force report, and we've responded to that, and we continue to work on those recommendations that they gave us. We've had an outside company come in and do an examination of 3,000 priest files. And so we think we're on top of that, and any kind of misbehavior that would have been shown up in that report. We've been dealing with victims and reaching out to them and asking them to help us in terms of what can we do to meet their needs. We've beefed up our monitoring program of priests who have abused in the past. And the three essential tools of background checks and virtus training and code of conduct, we're up to snuff with all of that. So we're at a much different place today than we were 15 months ago. Secondly, I put together a really fine team that's working together well. And there's a momentum now in terms of how we do things. One of the things the task force told us was that we had too much of a silo effect, that departments' information coming in would land in one department and not be shared with the others. Now my team is meeting 3 times a week to share the information and make sure that we're all on the same page. And thirdly, the role of a bishop is not that of a CEO. It's really more analogous to that of a father of a family. He has a spiritual family, and he's appointed to deal with that family in the good times and in their bad times. And so I think I have a lot of energy left. I think I have a lot of knowledge that I've learned in the last 10 months, and I think I'm here ready to help this archdiocese to get to a better place.
The latest allegations, which involved allegations of sexually or physically inappropriate relationships by yourself, it's being investigated by Green Espool, kind of caught a lot of people by surprise. It was like, oh no, not again. What is going on here? Have you ever had an inappropriate, either sexual, physical, or boundary trouble relationship with a male seminarian?
No, not at all, not in the least. And I'm not sure why those allegations are coming up, but they started out as rumors and innuendos that around the same time that the allegation came up with the confirmation student, which obviously proved false. And so there were these rumors last November and early December, and I said to my staff, I said, I think we need to investigate this because I know I have nothing to hide. I know I've not done nothing wrong, and we need to be able to establish that.
Right. You have no problems with boundaries, though?
No.
At all?
No.
And are you gay?
No, I am not gay. But I also want to say, as it was quoted in the paper this morning, I'm not anti-gay either. At the time of the marriage amendment, a lot of people said that I was bigoted, that I was homophobic, and I'm not. I look at every man and woman and child as a child of God, made in God's image and likeness. And so I have great respect for each person. But no, I'm not gay.
All right. In terms of the marriage amendment, a lot of Catholics were upset that the church spent so much money opposing the marriage amendment. Do you have any regrets about that? Do you feel that there is any way that as an archbishop you could ever approve of or recognize a marriage between a man and a man or a woman and a woman?
Well, no, because everything that we believe is founded in Scripture. And certainly in Genesis, God made human beings, man and woman, and he expected that to be a complementary relationship. And so the teaching that we have is a teaching that goes back to the beginning of time. And, when one of the most frustrating things for me during the marriage amendment was that we were trying to get out a positive message. Marriage is meant to be between a man and a woman. And every time we were quoted, it was that we were trying to ban same-sex marriages. Well, our intention was to say marriage has to be this. And if we redefine marriage, we're going to be in trouble as a society.
Is homosexuality a sin?
Being same-sex attracted is not sinful. but it's acting on those impulses, yes. So it's the behavior, not the tendency.
Can homosexuals, can gays be members of a Catholic church?
Oh, for sure,
if
yes.
they are acting on their instincts.
Well, again, homosexual behavior between a man and a woman is sinful because it goes against the very nature of our beings. But homosexual people can certainly be part of the Catholic Church.
If they don't act on that.
Yes.
Okay. And is that, with all due respect, is that something that you have as an individual? I mean, do you have that attraction to men?
No, I just said that I did not.
Okay.
No. But, you know, we're all called to be chaste. I'm a celibate, for example. Not everyone is called to be celibate. But outside of marriage, sexual relations are not licit.
Yeah, let me ask you, certainly I think almost all of these allegations involving sexual misconduct occurred long before you became the Archbishop. There are a couple of cases, though, that have led a lot of people to ask some questions. One specifically is Father Waymeyer. You appointed him to a parish, even though Jennifer Hasselberger, who was the canon lawyer, your advisor, recommended that you not do that. Why did you do that, and do you have any regrets about that?
Well, I don't have any regrets about the decision I made at the time. Number one, I don't make those decisions in isolation. Every assignment of a priest to a parish is vetted through the Comprehensive Assignment Board. It's an assignment board made up of priests and deacons who are elected by their peers, and so they advised me on that. I took that suggestion of Father Waymeyer becoming the pastor of both Blessed Sacrament. He was already the pastoral administrator of Blessed Sacrament, and I had met him when he invited me over to come and bless the new altar and sanctuary that they had just renovated. And a couple of weeks later, I was at St. Thomas the Apostle, a very small parish, only a mile away from Blessed Sacrament. And I thought to myself, we were talking about merging parishes at the time, and I thought, this is an easy one. You've got two parishes here, they're a mile apart. Neither one has a school. So I asked Father Waymeyer if he would be willing to take over that second parish, and he was. Now I knew when Jennifer had given me a summary of the file that he had had an incident 5 years before in a Barnes & Noble bookstore where he approached two 20-some-year-old gentlemen and made some remarks to them. He went off to a particular clinic and he was treated for that. And so we knew that he was same-sex attracted, but I never, in my wildest imagination, thought he would be attracted to young minors. And so when and it had been 5 years, he had taken the cure, he was getting spiritual direction every month, he was doing the therapy every month. So I thought, you know, then there was nothing in the report that came back from this clinic that indicated that he would be a threat to minors or to anyone else in point of fact.
And so, but you know, did you ever, I mean, Bishop Bichet also knew, I don't think he was a bishop then, I believe he was just a supervisor. Did you ever consult him?
Oh yes,
at all?
He was part of the Comprehensive Assignment Board, yes.
How about, you know, one of the things that happened with Father Waymeyer that I'm sure you know is that you had church officials, including Deacon Pomastek, you had going over there and actually, you know, picking up certain things, including a computer, and bringing it away just before his arrest. The police have been very public in how upset they are about that. Was that in any way a direction of yours? And do you feel comfortable with the way the entire Waymeyer situation was handled in the days and weeks leading up to his arrest?
Well, it was a matter of days from the time that we found out about it, and the direction was set by Father McDonough, who was the point person. Well, he went with the deacon, yes.
Yeah, but do you have any regrets about that? I mean, do you wish that hadn't happened?
Well, since that time, as I indicated to you, we're in a better place. We have a specific protocol now that when an allegation comes in, we follow step by step by step, so we make sure that the police are notified immediately and that we follow up after the police have been notified.